Alrighty guys, welcome back to Cobra Vids. On this video, we're going to be working on our new F-150. It had a major oil leak on the bottom. I already knew that, so it wasn't a big surprise. But that's why I got it for the price I got it. But anyway, the reason for this leak, they told me that they replaced the valve cover gasket on the passenger side here. And from the looks of it, and if I come over here to the other head, or the other valve cover, you could tell that it's dirty. I got some leaky seals there. That's going to have to be addressed very soon. Maybe I'll change that next, but it's not leaking too bad there. It's just like an oil seep. So I'm not going to be stressed out about that too much. That's probably for the cam phasers. And you can tell that that one has not been touched when this one here looks a lot different. And when I saw that, I'm like, okay, they tried to fix the leak, but their mechanic was wrong. And if you would have done a little bit of research on this truck, they would have seen many people talking about how this truck has a common failure. And what it is that hose right there connects to the vacuum pump, and it mounts to the back side of this head. At first I was like, how the heck am I going to, but there's actually enough room to do it just fine. I don't see any problems with me getting to it. It's just a little difficult to work back there because you got to lay across the engine and everything and hope that you don't snap off any valuable plastic lines. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to remove it. The seal that goes on it has not been delivered yet. I got to go get it at 4 o'clock today, and I'll have to finish up this video tomorrow. But that's okay. We'll take care of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to detach that line right there. And there's a couple little clips here for this wiring harness here. And we'll move that out of the way, and we'll be right back to you. So the thing about this is this O-ring is sealing from the inside of the head because that vacuum pump attaches to a slot in the back of the cam on this side. Well, that seal has failed, and it's a common failure. And once you see the seal, you'll understand because it's a very thin seal, but it's tall. And I can see how it would fail. So what I'm going to do, since they're two metal parts coming together, I'm going to put RTV black around the new seal, inside and out, so that when it seals up, it's going to dry and it's going to seal up properly. I got to take this on a long ride to do some training about 3 hours away. I don't want it leaking oil all the way. Let me show you signs that I found that led me to this area. All right, guys, as you can see, there's a couple spots, and this is just from driving it to town and back and then parking it inside or halfway into my garage here. Okay, so here's what I found. Oh, wow, there was a plate or something here. I'm gonna have to find that and add it in there. Well, what I did was I slid under here and I'm like, holy crap, look at all that oil. When I first slid under here, I thought it was a rear main because all I saw was this here, and that would be a sign for a main leaking. But then when I got up underneath a little further, I was able to see that it's coming from up top. And if I was a mechanic that didn't do any research and just used my experience, I might think, yeah, that rear is leaking. Or I might think, oh my God, that turbo is leaking oil like crazy, right? Well, but if you see this line up above the turbo, but the oil's coming from higher up. And then once I saw that, I'm like, okay, let's go up top. I started looking, and let me see if I can get a good view of this. Okay, that's that hose that we saw from below that had oil on it. So now I started looking a little closer. It says, okay, all right, I can see why they would think the valve cover was leaking. Maybe the valve cover was leaking, but that's not the only leak on this engine. Let me see if I can get it up a little closer for you. All right, let me get up there. I had to climb up on the engine. It's hard for me to watch this and get a good shot. Let me see. Right there is the hose I said I have to take off. But we got down here, got all this oil leaking down here. And I apologize if you can't really see where it's coming from, but it's aimed right at that pump, and that's where all the mass of oil is, and it's draining. It's like pouring down this hose here. So we have to take that pump off and change that seal back there. See if I can get a good view of. No. Let's try this way. Let's see if this works here. I don't know. Are you able to see it? I know, it's kind of hard. Kind of hard to see. So, this is probably the best video I've got of the issue so far. So, okay. So, that's what we're doing today. We're going to go ahead and... Oh, let me get situated so I stop bouncing around here. All right, so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to replace that seal. The information I found said, oh, don't replace the seal, just replace the pump. Well, the pump is working fine, so I'm not going to replace something that's not broken. I'll replace the seal because obviously that's broken. So, all right, guys, stay tuned. Keep watching because we're going to do this all for you. And by the way, this is a 2013 3.5 F150 EcoBoost. This has got dual turbos, and it's quite nice. It blows away my 06 that my wife rolled. And if you haven't watched that video, go back and watch it. It was a devastating thing for me to roll up on the scene to see. But my wife's okay. She survived. Thank goodness. But all right, guys, I'm going to get set up. I'm going to grab some tools. I think it's an 8mm bolt on the backside there. And yeah, let's get started on this. All right, so I'm going to try to hold it so I can make sure that I show you guys what I'm doing, because I don't have any type of camera mount that would mount this properly here, so I don't have to hold it. But this is the first one I'm pulling out. About to get it out. It's almost done. There we go. Damn, those are almost too long to pull out, you know. One of those things where you have to pull the engine out to get a bolt out. Oh, I've been there so much. Or dropping subframes or some ridiculous move like that. Okay, now I'm going to try to reach over here and get this one. I'm actually looking through the camera to see where this damn thing's at. There we go. Now we got it on there. Okay. I need both hands. I got that one loose. It should be removable with my fingers now. Let's see if it's finger tight or not. There we go. Oh, come on. All right. I got that second one out. Now I got to work on the bottom one, which I can't even see, but I think I can feel it right there. That might be it. Yep, I think so. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get that last one out, and I'll be right back. All right, now. So I got that last bolt out. Let's see if it's loose. Oh, there might be another one. No. Nope, it's just stuck. So we got to kind of get something to help pop that baby off. Oh, there we go. That was solid. Okay, so I'm just going to work it off. Just kind of jiggle a little bit. Gotta pull it out. Amazed I can do this with one hand. Okay. Feels like that center piece is stuck. I'm gonna have to have both hands for a second. So I just popped it back, and then I'm going to kind of carefully work it out. Remember, this is the first time I've done this, so I don't know the proper way, but we'll find it. Oh, looky there. Yeah, no, yeah. Oh, there we go. You saw how I did that, right? Definitely leaking. Look at all that. And this seal, yeah, this seal is shot, guys. Holy moly. So that's shot. So let's go set this out on something I'm not going to get all disgusting. Oh, an old battery charger. There you go. So yeah, I would say that with how disgusting it is, that this was probably leaking. I would say there's a good chance that it was leaking. So, all right, yep, and this is the very bottom part, and this is where it's all juicy. So I would imagine it was leaking, and filling the seal here, it is like completely flat. It's a little bulgy up here, but it's very flat here. It's almost sunken in, so yeah, I would say that that's bad. So, and this here is what goes on the gear, you know, the camshaft. And looks like there's a little bit of debris right there that we can probably clean off. Yeah, we'll clean it up before we put it back in there. Definitely. But let's see if we can get the seal out. Oh, that is rock hard, guys. Wow. I'm going to have to get something to help get this off. But yeah, that's nice and flat right there. This is kind of bulgy. So definitely I'm confident that this is the problem. Now, do you want to see the hole that it goes in? I think that would be kind of neat. Let's go check it out. Alrighty. Now, I'm not going to be able to see this like you guys can. You see that hole there? That's where it came from. Is there signs of leaking down below? Let's see. I can't see it, but you can. You tell me. But that's where it goes. So, all right, guys, before we continue on, I'm going to have to get the seal. And once I get that hole back there cleaned up, I'm going to take some brake cleaner and just clean that whole area up and everything that's juicy. I'm going to go ahead and clean it up and underneath as well, so that when we get it back running, we can tell if there's any new leaks. Because anyone who's dealt with a bad oil leak, it could drip for days after you stop the leak because of the residual. And when the car heats up, you know, oily substances start running a little more. But anyway, when I come back, I'll have the part in hand and ready to go back together. Stay with us, guys. This is a fun one. This is the first repair I've done to my new F-150, well, used F-150. Catch you in a minute. All right, guys, here's one thing I wanted to show you. I started pulling off this old seal, and it is brittle as brittle can be, man. And it is hard to get out of here. Look at that. Watch. Whoop. Oops. Oh, look, it's just snapping in half. Yeah. Tell me that seal was a good seal. Well, alrighty, guys. I came to town to pick up that gasket for my truck, and this is what I wound up coming out with. A whole brand new one. And I'm going to tell you why. O'Reilly said that O-ring right there would be in at about 4 o'clock today. Well, it didn't come in the shipment, and I need my damn truck. So I had to buy a whole new vacuum pump. I guess that's okay because, you know, they do go out, and it's a little high mileage truck. So I guess we'll go ahead and swap it out and call it good. Really sucks, guys. $157 versus $14. All right, you guys, we're back at the house here. I'm going to pull up this part here. First of all, we got to compare it. Yes, it's the same. I even have all of the collars. There you go. So let me unwrap that. Since this is still in pretty much the same, let me get that focus. Since this is pretty much in the same location, I'm going to go ahead and take this one, and I'm going to try to imitate where it's at. There you go. And now we get it installed. Okay, first step is to get this reorientated in there the way it's supposed to be. I think it's like something like that. So I'm going to climb up there and then I'll show you how I work it in. Alrighty guys, so what I did was I just slid it behind this here harness, and then I've got to move the harness out of my way with my other hand so I can work it in there without damaging that tip. Once I get it in there, I'll explain how I did it. Okay, as you could see, I started it up here, and that little rod that comes out, I pointed it downward and I kind of just slid it back into there, and it went right into the hole. Now, it took me several attempts to line everything up properly. So it might take you a couple tries to get it right, but just stick with it, be careful, take it easy, and you should be able to get it too. And now, all that's really left is for me to plug in this vacuum line here that goes to the power booster. There we go. Whoops, there we go. It's all hooked up now. Okay, so now for the moment that we've all been waiting for. Just checking all my lines here, so make sure I didn't break any. Oh, God damn, socks are all sawdusty now. All right, so the only other thing is the cover, but we're not going to worry about that right now. I'm going to go ahead and take my tools up off there, and we're going to fire it up and see how she runs, make sure that it's running good, and then we should be able to warm it up and see if she leaks. But first, I really want to clean it up. So when I first started up, I'll let it get a little warm so that the grease and oil on it's a little warmer. Maybe that'll help clean it up.
Of course, it's getting dirty again.
Burrito wrapper.
Oh yeah.
You could almost just sleep on the road in this car.
Nice.
I want to take a road trip in this so bad.
It's actually, the brake actually feels like it's working. So what I'm going to do, son, is, do you want to get out and close the hood for me? It's really hard to get out with this door right here.
Okay, I was going to take a nap back here.
Oh, fine. Stay there then.
I don't want your hood to flop off.
No, it's not. It's not. I'm just backing out just enough. I'm backing out just enough for me to get out.
Oh, I could have done it.
No, you couldn't. You were crying.
I'm comfy.
You were crying. Alrighty, so she's running. She's running, guys. I'm gonna close down my hood, back it out to the end of the road, and start cleaning up the old grease. Alright, so we get some trusty old brake parts cleaner. I got my eye protection on, and what I want to do is I want to get in here. I want to blast the hell out of all these parts here so that we can start determining if we indeed fix the leak or are we just wasting money. I hope I fixed the leak. I hate wasting money. Okay, let's get under here. Alrighty. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn on this light on the camera. I can see a little bit here. And I'm just going to start blasting away. And get the bar. Whoops. Get the tranny pan. The exhaust manifold here. Look at that. The exhaust manifold was horribly bad. So we'll just empty this can out. Get underneath there. Got eye protection, so I should be okay. Oh yeah, okay. So I'm gonna come up here, and there's some more stuff up in here, back in here. I don't know how much of this you're seeing, but if it made it to the video, then you saw enough. I'll just leave it at that. Okay, I'm gonna continue blasting away. All I want is all the oily residue to go away, so that we can run it and heat it up and make sure that it is good. Oil's all the way back to here. Isn't that insane? Okay, so we used an entire can to clean the area. Now when I go back down here, yeah, looks better. Looks much better than it did. So, all right, we're gonna let it dry out a little bit. This stuff dries pretty quick. We're gonna let it drip and dry. Then we'll be back and we'll fire it up and we'll let it run. Okay, I got this piece of vinyl siding here. I don't have the cleaner to clean my concrete up from where it dripped, but I laid some vinyl siding here so that when I pull back up here after it's all warmed up and at operating temperatures, I can pull it up here and see if we get any more leaks. I would expect a little bit to drip out, considering that it was a really bad leak, and some might jiggle around and work down and drop, but we shouldn't have. All of this was one-time parking. That's a lot of oil, guys. So I'm just hoping that it doesn't leak, because that was a bad leak. It was almost like it was the rear main seal, like I said earlier, but it just, the other signs did not match up. So, all right, I'm going to go warm up the truck and we'll wash my hands, probably go drive it down the road and back, park it, see how it looks. So if we still have dripping, then we know that this is not the problem. But it looks really good so far. I'm pretty pleased at what I see so far. I mean, there was just a drip right there on my thingy there. We shall see after a couple miles of driving. If that continues to leak, that might be the back of that oil pan. But let's not talk about that now. Let's go ahead and wrap it up. Later on, I will give you an update. I'll let you know if we had any other major oil spots under the truck. Until next time, guys, stay safe, stay free. We'll catch you on the next one.